1, 2, 3,
4.
Have you ever given your textbooks more than a second glance? Chances are you see textbooks like many college students, irrelevant except for the exorbitant fees associated with them. However, books in general have played a huge role in how society has grown to what it is today, especially textbooks. Textbooks provide a way for students to take what they learn in the classroom and apply it to problems, like with homework or allowing students to teach themselves and to review topics not completely understood after the class is ended. After my speech, I hope to have properly informed you of the history of textbooks, the purpose they serve, and how new technologies are changing the way textbooks will be presented in the future. First, we will discuss the history of textbooks. Textbooks have been used for teaching aids since 1700 BC. Of the few surviving texts, historians have noted ancient Sanskrit textbooks that include various techniques for pronouncing mantras. With more educationally specific texts coming from the ancient Greeks, these first textbooks were not the same ho-hum printed textbooks that you and I are accustomed to today. These texts were handwritten by a select few members of society that possessed that special ability. Over the course of history, many ancient textbooks have been found and translated. In an article by Julie Rayner on ScienceNews.com entitled A Prayer for Archimedes, Rayner discusses a newly found historical treasure relating to textbooks. For nearly 70 years, a prayer book resided, hidden away in a closet, gathering dust, underneath the noses of a French family. After many years, the family pulled the book out and wondered if it would be worth any money. The family took the book to Christie's Auction House of London and had it appraised. Soon after, the book was auctioned off for over $2 million. Since 1998, when it was auctioned off, much of the research has been done to unlock its secrets. The findings conclude that the text was one that the great mathematician Archimedes himself had written over 2,200 years ago. The book is not only a prayer book, but it contains the work by Archimedes entitled The Method. This would be one of the earliest known books written on calculus. Once Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press in 1440, books, including those for education, were becoming more and more accessible to people. The advent of the printing press would forever change how information was passed on and understood. The history of text goes on to include the New England Primer, which went on to become the most successful educational textbook published in the 18th century. Thomas Dalworth published a new guide to the English tongue in 1687, which was thought to be one of the few school books used by Abraham Lincoln. Textbooks have shaped our founding fathers' education and life as we know it in college today. The purpose of textbooks is to inform, to reference, and to attain new knowledge. Now that we have the basic understanding of where textbooks come from, let's move to the specific type of textbooks used in academic setting. There are 3 basic types of textbooks used in academia, and they are listed on montgomerycollege.edu under basic parts of the hardbook text. There are browsing books that usually allow the reader to browse a subject and get just the basics without reading the entire entry. Secondly are continuous reading books. These books are probably most familiar with us as college students, and they are designed to inform a person on the basic concepts of one subject. They allow you to build on one topic from another and to foster a full understanding of the subject as a whole. Lastly are reference books. They are designed for easy and quick access of a specific portion of information regarding a topic. Everyone here listening to this speech knows our world as we know it is moving towards a more paperless, technology-based society. Reminiscent of how things have changed since 1700 BC until now, our world is also changing. Our children and their children will most likely be using a form of electronic textbooks in the future. It may be without paper and without the high cost and without the further depletion of the country's forest for paper. And in would be a lightweight, compact, more economical ebook, or at least the world that Arne Duncan, educational secretary, sees. As stated in the New York Times article, Long Live Paper, by Justin Hollander, written in 2012, Duncan thinks that textbooks should be considered obsolete. I will leave you with the decision on paper or over plastic, but what remains the same is the way that we would use the material contained in text to attain more knowledge about almost any topic that you can think of. Without getting into the debate of textbook over ebook, you can see that textbooks, whether loaded onto an e-reader or just plain ink and paper, have revolutionized the world today as we know it. Without textbooks, college students' lives would be even more challenging than they are today. Whether referencing, building, building basic knowledge of a subject through continuous books or simply books read when browsing. Each of these textbook types contributes to an increased understanding of a subject. Paper textbooks have shaped the world for centuries and will continue to brighten the lives of many students throughout the world. In conclusion, textbooks are used by students young and old to attain knowledge that can't well be verbally represented or taught. Using a textbook in conjunction with lectures and other supplemental materials only helps to aid in a fostering of a better understanding of whatever topic is on the table, and in the future it may also change from paper or plastic, but will still offer the same basic building blocks for the basis of education as we know it today.